Hey there, everybody. Thanks for joining me for another one-man review. Today I'll be looking at Tinfoil number 4. That's what this says. I would have had no idea that that's what that said unless I went to the inside and read up here that this is Tinfoil. This is a collaboration between two small press companies, Deadcrow and then Domino Books. I believe Austin English at Domino sent this to us. So whoever sent this, thanks for sending it over. And this is edited by Floyd Tangeman, who in the other couple anthologies that I've seen from Domino, I haven't seen anything else from Deadcrow, but from Domino, Floyd seems to be either one of the editors there, or just one of their standard artists because his stuff has shown up and everything. Um, I think with like its kind of punk, postmodern, like hard to look at aesthetics that you have in something like this, which is intentional. That's what they're doing. I think in this one they've actually gone a bit too far and done the artists a disservice. Because out of all of these like newsprint anthologies that I've been looking at, I've got a whole bunch of them. People send them for free, which I'm really appreciative of. This one has some of my favorite artists and artists I'd really like to follow up on, but they don't have any like real clear system. It's a kind of an intentionally opaque system for assigning credit to the work. So what you have here is the table of contents, and then it will go like cover, back inside, back front, like page one, and then you'll have JM and SIK and Shin, and then you have here like a code. And this page you can see is like super cluttered with like writing going all kinds of different ways. So all of this here is like these artists' initials attached to their name. I don't know why they wouldn't have just taken advantage of the space to say like page one by collaboration by, or at least put these in order, because here it's, like I really like I really like the art in this first one, so I'm having to go JM and like search through all of this, and then I find, okay, Jeremy McBrien, but that's also in collaborate. These all seem like collaborative comics. They're all more than one person working on it. And six, so I'm looking around, and then Shin equals Shin, so I don't know who Shin is. And I just feel like it's a real disservice to the artist, because part of what's cool about these books, I think these anthologies, is that I can find someone who hasn't had much exposure. They're maybe doing their first couple comics, little short works, getting their feet wet, and I can follow them on Instagram and follow up and follow their career. I don't feel like I can do that with this book, which is unfortunate because I'll just flip through it and show everything in it because I think there's a bunch of artists. But also, I wish I could lead you to who these artists were. So I guess it's good in the sense that I can do a review like this where you can see everything, and you still need to go order the book because you need the code and you need to work through the key table of contents and figure it out yourself if you want to track these artists down. So I haven't done that yet. A couple artists like this. I mean, I guess I found Jeremy McBrien. But knowing who did what too, who's the artist, who's the writer, they both artists, one person coloring, that would have been helpful in terms of tracking down which creators I like and which ones just didn't interest me. So I really like the art on that first story. This second one, I like the look of it. Well, most of these didn't make sense. I really like this. I don't know that I look at it as a comic, even though the quilt kind of has panels. It's an interesting idea that the quilt could be a comic, but it's just more like design. But I really like the collage and the use of texture in this one. There's a lot of things in this that remind me of David Mack and Kabuki, and then Bill Sienkiewicz with like Stray Toasters, and Dave McKean stuff with this collage type of work. But I feel like all those artists are able to sell. But Stray Toasters is pretty strange, but I feel like those artists are still really able to hold a narrative together and communicate a story. And I feel like a lot of these are intentionally more poetic or avant-garde. And so it's interesting to see those kind of same strategies used. Like I feel like in the context of a bigger story or a whole story done like this could be a really compelling way of working. And David Mack definitely got close to it, but I think this is going even further with this kind of like material texture based collage that he used in Kabuki, and like the having to turn and rotate, and there's a lot of interesting stuff there. I would just like to see this played out. That's why I'd like, at least this one says Nick and Minnie, so I can go through here and these are things I would just really like to follow up on, because there's something really interesting, and I want to know, like, is there longer work using this? Like, this is very exciting to me. Um, this one here, again, I have no idea, but kind of like a little poetic thing. I like this. No more humans, just us, just how I like it. I think more and more, well, post COVID, getting used to being in isolation, I've felt more and more like that, like wanting to own 50 acres and live in the middle of it. Here's another. This is the one where I was really thinking of David Mack the most. This seems to be like just goodbye to mostly celebrities that have died, I think. And then I like this, like going, like just making your own lyrics for a song. And the visuals of all this. This is also that kind of David Mack like cutout look to it, but I don't know what they add up to. Um, this art didn't do as much for me. Again, I have no idea who the artists on these things are, and I can't read. There's some things said here, but the scan's not good enough. And that's another problem of these is I think the oh, this is by Floyd and Sam. Okay. I think another thing with these is the publisher's a bit bound by how the artist presents the material. So some of these just look like the artist didn't scan it as well, or it's it's like a cheap newsprint magazine, so some of the printing gets off. I quite like this one that they're working with photographs of a sculpture. It looks like just one sculpture being photographed from different angles, and then so this is Claire Bivens did the sculpture, and then words by Zach Bivens. I don't know who of the two or collaboratively they decided what photographs to use and in what order. But that's interesting. I would like to see more sculpture in comics for sure. I have no idea what to make of this. This falls in the category of please tell me what people enjoy about this. Uh, it falls in the category of holy shit, when I'm talking to some people, is this what's going on in their head? Like, it's such a different experience of the world, but it's intriguing. Like, I don't know what to make of it. This looks like a Austin English piece. This is his style. This kind of falls in between poetry and narrative, and again, I don't know what to make of it, but this intrigues me. I have another Austin English book that's like Austin English all the way through that I haven't got to yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing if what his work adds up to in a larger context. Um, this one, I don't know. This just looks like a sketchbook page. Another thing I was thinking while I was looking at this is like a lot of this stuff feels, and I've said this about a couple other things, it feels cathartic, or it feels like the artist just having fun. And I do stuff like this for myself all the time. I'll post them on Instagram, just like straight to ink things. And I don't think they're really good. I don't know that I'd want to sell them to anyone, but they're probably the most fun for me. And as I'm recording this, I'll probably be done with it by the time this video goes up. But me and Sean are working on a collaborative little piece for Told to Tell, and it's probably going to be weird and indecipherable like this, but we're having a lot of fun with the process that we're using for making it. So I have to divorce kind of intent to communicate from the reader from the artist doing something that's valid for the artist, and especially post AI and the sessions with Dave McKean and stuff, thinking about the benefit of making versus the benefit of consuming something like this. I feel like the artists probably really had fun and really probably felt like they were having insights. When you're doing stuff like this, you'll do something that you think is real clever that you wouldn't plan. Like maybe this, once you come alive, eventually you will become complete. And maybe while they're drawing this, they had no idea that that's what they were aiming towards, but that in the process of making this, they had some discovery. So I get that. I just think oftentimes that kind of stuff doesn't communicate. So I'm always skeptical about this kind of work from a consumer standpoint. Like, I don't really get anything out of looking at it, and I wouldn't spend money on it. But I also think there's something valid about getting it all on record too. This was someone's production and having it on record. But I think that kind of stuff more for artists. This is an artist I'm definitely going to follow up on, Maya Nogajiji, if I could pronounce that correct. Nogajiji. Really like the look of this one. Really well composed. Some cool rhythmic stuff. Like just taking the time to pay attention to that candle being lined up there. That kind of like subdivision thing that I've expressed my preference for many times before. And I don't know, just kind of like the happy kids book. Like maybe after something like this, it's also real refreshing to turn to this. So that's something I like about this anthology in particular. Every couple pages is like woo woo, a whole journey, which is like how I like to listen to music and stuff. That it changes kind of flavor every song or multiple times within a song. So I appreciate that about this book. This one, I don't know. This is one where it looks like they just got a bad scan of it because it's so crisp here and then so blurry there. This is another one I have no idea. This just looks like someone venting. Really, really like this. This is by Griffin Musser and Eli Strife. I'm glad they have the artist name on there because I really want to follow up on this. This feels like the first 3 or 4 pages are kind of like the preview, the trailer preview for some much longer project, and I really like the art in this one. The story seems kind of compelling, like this bug creature is going to go on this big fantasy adventure. So I'm really curious to see if there's more of this and what else this artist has done. Because it's so clean line, I feel like this is an artist that needs to be seen in color too. I mean, I really like the clean line look, but I just like a page like this could probably be so gorgeous if colored right. Thinking of like Moebius type coloring, stuff like that would be beautiful. So definitely want to see that artist. This just looks like someone who worked in like food service or something, like getting just quotes of what they'd heard. I don't know. It seems like that. I haven't had sex in so many years, my pussy dry. At least they saved me from that pizza place. If they want to play CeeLo, they better find me 2 babes. So it just seems like captured conversations. Oddly, I've been saying I want to see a lot of things in color. This artist here looks like Christian Castello, if I can read the writing. I really like the quality of their line work. Their line weight work is really fun, especially this drawing here. The calligraphic nature of that. I really love the line work, but I don't like the colors so much. This is an artist I feel like if they got good at spotting blacks with this line work, like I would really love it. And the story in this one, just I don't know, I like checked out of it pretty quick. But the cartooning I really, really enjoyed in this one. I also feel like it kind of fell apart as it went, like these earlier pages. So I don't know what the collaboration is between those two. And here's a photo comic. It just looks like a Zoom call turned into a comic. I don't know who these are by. So cool anthology. Like I said, there's definitely some artists I'm going to follow up on. I'm glad that most of the ones I wanted to follow up on actually have their name on here, so I don't have to spend too much time wading my way through this. But I think some really, really cool stuff, and I'm really enjoying these anthologies. I've said it before, but I think one of the ways that we can all help push the medium forward and get better comics is support these smaller publications, support these smaller companies, these people who are putting avant-garde, risky work out there. Like, you're kind of getting into it knowing you're not going to like everything. Like, I know I'm going to get something like this that it's just not for me, but within it, then I'm also going to get something like this. And I think we all need to be willing to take some of those risks, because that's how we make sure that the artists that we do like, whether you hate this and like this, or you hate this and like this, it's just a way of getting them out there. So yeah, I really appreciate these magazines being sent along, and I hope people are, going and getting these anthologies. So we'll keep seeing more of these, and I hope you're doing whatever you can to support the artists that you like in them as well. So thanks for following along with this. If you enjoy what we're doing here on the channel, the best ways to support us are through our Patreon. All those like donations basically help us get books, and we try and have cool tiers and voting and prizes and stuff that you can win on the Patreon. And then just the best thing that you can do is support what Sean's doing through Living the Line Publishing, buying the books that he has put out or has coming out. So we'll take a look at some of those now. House on Fire by Matt Battaglia is a just gorgeous book where Matt's kind of making an emotional response to the years of COVID and wrapping that into a sci-fi dystopian future that really the sci-fi dystopian's backgrounded, and you're focused on the emotional journey of 2 characters in a really beautiful way. And then that's enhanced by Matt's like really awesome, loose, kind of Paul Popish dry brush work. And then Sean and Matt have worked to get this second kind of orange spot color in there that's going to look really, really beautiful, and it has allowed Matt to use his dry brush technique to add tone to the thing too. So with Sean's production technique, this is going to be a gorgeous book with a lot of heart. Thanks for following along. Take it away, Jeff.
You want to see all these books? Smash that subscribe button and the like button and the bell, and then you get them.